Hello, 6th graders. Welcome to Big Ideas Math, Section 9.3, Measures of Center lesson. Pause while you write Section 9.3, Measures of Center lesson in your math notebook. Pause again while you write today's lesson objective in your math notebook. Today's objective is find the median and mode for a data set. Copy the following key vocabulary exactly as it appears into your notebook. Now I'd like you to follow the directions in the video below to complete your foldable. First, you're going to take your full index card and copy the information that is on it. So it says, how many hours a night does each student in our class sleep? And then we have a dot plot to graph that data. So we have 1 dot above the 4, 3 above the 5, 2 above the 6, 4 above the 7, 2 above the 9, and 1 above the 10. Remember, when you are doing a dot plot, to include all of the numbers on the number line, even if there is nothing above them. Below your dot plot, leave a place to write mean, mode, median, and range. And notice that the mean has a curvy equals sign, which means approximately equal to. So don't make it a straight equal sign. And then you are going to glue that right into the center of your large piece of paper. Now take one of your half index cards that is cut horizontally and copy the information that is on that. It says the quotient of a set of numbers when the sum of the numbers in the set is divided by the number of addends. So remember that addends are the numbers that we add up. And so in our set of data that we just copied on the large index card, we had 1 4, 3 5s, 2 6s, 4 7s, 2 9s, and 1 10. And if we add all of that up, we get 87. And there are 13 addends. So the sum of the addends is 87, and we divide that by 13. When we divide that, we get 6.67, and for our purposes, we don't need that to be that exact, so we are going to round it to 7. And be sure you write the note on the side that says mean equals average. So when you are given directions that say find the average or find the mean, you'll know that that means the same thing. Now we're going to move to the side, and you'll see that the cards that are cut vertically are a little bit too long for the side panels, so you'll need to cut them off a little bit at the bottom, and you'll see how that's done. We just make a mark to see where it aligns with the edge of the flap, and then we'll cut that off so that it will fold. There you go. Now you can see that. So that it's short enough so that that flap will fold in when everything is done, so that you can glue that on. And then you're going to write the information on that little card that you just made, and it says the middle number in an ordered set of numbers. So notice it says an ordered set of numbers. You have to be sure you put your numbers in numerical order. So I've listed all of the numbers from our dot plot that's in the middle, and then I crossed out the lowest number and the highest number and the lowest number and the highest number until I reached one middle number. Remember that sometimes you get to the point where you have 2 middle numbers, and then you need to find the mean or the average of those 2 middle numbers to find out what's right between those. So remember that the median equals the middle. Be sure you copy all of that down and then glue that to its flap. On the right-hand side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to trim our little index card so that it is short enough so that our flap will fold. And then we're going to write some information on there. And that is for the mode. The mode is the number that occurs the most often in a set of numbers. So I've written our set of numbers again, and you should too. And the number that is there the most is 7. So remind yourself that the mode equals most. Be sure you copy everything that's on this little card and glue it to the right-hand flap. And then you're going to move to the bottom, and you've got your last horizontal card, and on that you are going to write the difference between the largest and smallest number in a set is, in our set of numbers, that's 10 minus 4 equals 6, and that is called the range. So the range is the largest minus the smallest. We're not actually using the range in this lesson, but it's going to come up in future lessons, so we're going to go ahead and put it in this foldable so that you will have it for the future. And glue that onto the bottom flap, and then fill in all the numbers that we've found. So we found out that our mean is approximately 7, our median is 7, our mode is 7, and our range is 6. And then, once everything's glued, take the top flap and fold it down. Take the right flap and fold it over. Take the bottom flap and fold it up. Take the left flap and fold it in. And then flip your foldable over so that it is flat on the back. So all you've got is flat paper, and use your glue stick and glue it into your notebook. Starting with example 1 on page 404, we'll be finding the median and the mode. Find the median and mode of the following bowling scores. So our first step is to order the data, and the book has done that for us. And when we cross off the lowest and the highest and continue to do that, we end up with 2 middle numbers. And then we average those 2 by adding them up and dividing by 2 numbers because we have 2 addends. So that turns out to be 140. The mode is the number that occurs the most often. So if we look at our data, we see that 160 occurs the most often. So the mode is 160. Example 2, we're finding a mode that is not numerical. So we look at a frequency table, and this one shows the favorite types of movies for students in a class. And we organized the data in a frequency table, and the number of tally marks is the frequency, and we found the mode. So since comedy got the most votes, comedy is the mode. In example 3, we're asked to choose the best measure of center. So it says find the mean, median, and mode of the sneaker prices, and it asks which measure best represents the data. So after finding the mean, it's 48.5, and the median is 41, and the mode is 20 because that occurs the most often. Then we look at them on a number line, and we can see that since we're looking for the one that is closest to center, the mean is off to the right. It's over here. And the mode is way off to the left. But the median, since it's the middle number, is right here in the middle. So the median is best representing the data. Our next example is about removing an outlier. So remember, an outlier is exactly what it sounds like. It's a value that lies outside of the rest of the numbers. And it says, identify the outlier in example 3. Find the mean, median, and mode without the outlier. Which measure does the outlier affect the most? So the price of $122 is much greater than any other price. So it is the outlier. And so when we refigure everything, we can figure out that the mean is affected the most by the outlier because we have the mean with the outlier of 48.5 and without the outlier of only 38. So that's a difference of about 10, and the median is a difference of only 5, and the mode is a difference of 0. So this has the biggest difference. So that's the one that's affected the most. Okay, example 5 is about changing the values of a data set. The prices of 6 video games at an online store are shown in the table. This is the table. And the price of each game increases by $4.98 when a shipping charge is included. How does this increase affect the mean, median, and mode? Make a new table by adding $4.98 to each price. Then find the mean, median, and mode of both data sets. So if you add the $4.98 to each price, that data is shown in this table. And then we figure out the mean, the median, and the mode for the original price. And all of that is right here in the top line of this table. And then if you figure it out with the shipping charge, that data is shown in the bottom row. So when we compare the mean before and after the shipping charge, the difference is $4.98. And the difference in the median before and after the shipping charge is $4.98, and the difference in the mode before and after the shipping charge is $4.98. So by increasing each video game price by $4.98 for shipping, the mean, median, and mode all increased by $4.98, which makes perfect sense. Your assignment for this lesson is to complete the following on your own problems, which are also on pages 404 to 406 of your textbook. Show your work and be prepared to share during our next class.
Please remember to earn credit for viewing this flipped lesson. You need to complete your exit slip back at the website. You also need to come to our next class prepared with the journal pages that we did during the flipped lesson or any other work that we did for the flipped lesson completed. You also need to be prepared with any work that was assigned in the flipped lesson completed, and be ready with any questions you have for your teacher, and as always, have a good attitude. We'll see you tomorrow in class. Remember to earn credit for viewing this flipped lesson. You must complete your exit slip. You must come to our next class prepared with your journal pages or any other work that we did during the flipped lesson completed, and you need to be prepared with any work that was assigned during the flipped lesson completed. Be prepared with any questions you have about the content of the flipped lesson and a good attitude. We'll see you in class tomorrow.